So DreamHack, which is in Stockholm, has just concluded. At DreamHack, there was a CSGO championship and Titan brought the gold home. And it was quite an amazing championships to watch. I didn't watch the playoffs, if that's what they're called, too much, but I did watch that championship game of LDLC versus Titan, and it was pretty intense. Titan is just, I watched some of their previous games, they're just a complete steamroller team. They just dominate. When they start getting going, they get this momentum, they're able to buy a whole bunch, they just steamroll everyone. But anyways, it was quite a joy to watch. Now, I don't watch a whole bunch of competitive esports. It just isn't quite my thing, and I don't really have the time for it. But occasionally, especially in moments like this, I do like to watch those championships and see what the best of the best CSGO players, or whatever game it is, see what the best of the best players are doing, how they play, how do they control their spreads, their recoil, and everything. And I do feel like I did gain quite a bit out of watching it, especially with my AK. I've been having a little bit of trouble with my AK spread. I'm able to tap fire quite well, but bursting up close is something I've been having to work on. I feel like I have gotten a little bit better. But I don't want to talk too much more about that. It's not the purpose of this video. The thing is, while I was watching these championships, watching these esports games, it made me kind of wonder there are games out there. I keep talking about this in a bunch of videos, but League of Legends is, I think it's a superb example of how to do games right, because it's free to play, it's not pay to win, it's well recognized within the gaming community. There's tons of players. In fact, at this moment, there are over 67 million people that play League. That is just, it's a completely astounding number. And they have an incredibly large esports scene, larger, I believe, than that of even Dota. So what is it that they're doing right? And this is the question that came into my head. And why do games like Battlefield 4, which really tries to have that competitive scene, why does it not have that as much? So there's a few comparisons being made here. So between Battlefield 4 and CSGO, I think the problem that Battlefield 4 has, why it can't get on that same competitive level as CSGO, is the fact that it doesn't have the same quality that's been put into the netcode, into latency, and into just performance problems. CSGO is a very smooth game to play, and you'll really understand this if you've played it before and you have also played Battlefield 4. Both those games play very differently and respond to your input very differently as well. And I think that if Battlefield 4 had a much snappier engine, or at least had a much snappier input and performance, I think it would be a much more better contender for being a larger esports game. There's also another point that's often overlooked with Battlefield 4, and that's the economy. CSGO has an incredibly diverse economy. The fact that you can get Op Asimovs for $200, or different types of skins that have a certain amount of value, and you can see those skins tangibly when you're playing with your friends or playing with other teammates. You see someone with one of those ops or one of those skins, or whatever skin it is, you want it, you get a little bit jealous perhaps, but those skins are valuable, they mean something. In Battlefield, you don't really see those skins as much, first of all on teammates, or even if you pick up someone's kit, it just doesn't mean as much, it's not as big of a deal. Arguably, maybe the Phantom Trainee skin is kind of cool, and it means that you've unlocked a certain achievement, but it still doesn't have that same level that an Redline or an Asimov or one of those skins has in CSGO. Now, I also think that ranking up goes under this same category of economy, and the fact that it's something that you want to show off, you want to share with your friends. It sort of creates a same dilemma as families had in the 1920s with the keeping up with the Jones mentality, that you see your buddy over there that's Master Guardian, you and you're Nova 3, you think, oh, well, geez, I kind of want to go and beat him. It keeps that mentality, and it makes people want to continue playing. And I see that a lot in League of Legends. I see that a lot in CSGO. And I think that's something that allows both those games to have an esports scene, whereas Battlefield doesn't as much. It doesn't create as much hype about, you know, having these players that are incredibly talented at the games that they're playing. That's basically the comparison being made there. Now, why this is almost even more of an important point, I think, is why is CSGO not as big of a game as League of Legends? Now, this is a very, very different type of comparison, and some probably will, and rightly so, argue that I'm basically comparing apples and oranges. These are not two different first-person shooters. These are two very different games in the way that they play, in the way that they are in essence. And I think that's true, but I think you do have to recognize that there are similarities in the type of hype that they have at least the potential to create in the masses when it comes down to esports. Community and culture. These are two big deals for the success or the failure of esports, and I don't see this being touched upon as much. In South Korea, as well as some other Asian countries, League of Legends is extremely popular, and the culture in these respective countries is extremely different in the attitudes that they take towards these esports athletes. In South Korea, esports athletes have the hottest girlfriends, drive the crazy cars. Not sure so much about the crazy cars, but they are extremely famous, extremely popular, extremely revered by their fans and by the culture in that respective area of the world. In the US or in America, anyways, in different places, especially in Western countries, esports is not as big of a deal. We don't place as much importance on athletes of esports. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is not what I'm trying to get at, but it is an observation. It is backed up by quite a bit of evidence. So really, I think that until CSGO or some other game or some other person or object, entity, whatever, I think until something or else comes around and changes the cultural perception of esports in Western countries like America, and to a lesser degree in Europe. I think Europe is a lot more accepting of esports athletes as, you know, a big deal. I think until that happens in America, or at least where I am, I think that esports will continue to only really be targeted and really interest a very niche crowd of gamers and a niche crowd, obviously, then of society as a whole. So anyways, I hope this all has been a little bit interesting, and hopefully you guys have opinions of your own. You know, whether they differ from mine, I don't really care. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to see what you guys think. Let me know down below in those bodacious comments. Let me know what you guys think. Also, I hope you guys have enjoyed a little bit of the CSGO gameplay. I've been trying really hard to rank up, get some cool skins. Lastly, let me know if you guys want me to make sort of a tutorial on the things that I've learned in CSGO. I may do this if there's enough interest and if you guys seem interested in wanting to learn a little bit. Obviously, I'm not a pro or anything, but I have gotten some pretty cool tips, I think, that could definitely help you improve in CSGO. So let me know down below all this wonderful stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope y'all are doing hunky-dory.
Swag. One close. Hey, Orange, you want to knife fight me? What the fuck? Terrorists win. That's wrong. I'm gonna go into the water.
Okay.
Do it. Call of Duty. Do it. YOLO pistol.
Do it, you won't.
Seriously, what happened? Whee! Oh shit, it does respawn too.
It respawned. We can throw a pistol. What happens if you throw it in there?
What if it didn't respawn?
my gun didn't respawn.
Damn it! One's up top, one's up top.
Sorry.
I think. Wait, I got to a PT line, bro.
Go up.
Yeah, that's good.